Hello, everyone out there. Good to see you guys and gals. Thought I'd put together a little combination talk and load a little 223556 this evening. I actually changed the dial. Amazing how much show prep you got to do. And you stay busy about an hour before you go live because you got to take off dyes and this, that, and the other. And then you drop primers out of your primer tube and everything just falls apart there. But hey, that's the way it goes. Sometimes when you're on the bench, especially rushing, trying to get the primer tube, I like this RCBS primer system, but I don't have a permanent mount for it. So that's got to be done next. But anyway, let me go over the chat here and see who all's in here. Appreciate you guys showing up here. Tactical FUD up here at the top. Good to see you, Tactical FUD. Red Dirt. Hello. If you're in another community, I appreciate it and thank you for coming in. Don't matter where you're from, homesteading, ranching, prepping, I welcome you to the live here. And I appreciate you taking the time to come in here. Even if you don't stay long, I still thank you for coming in. Got Kingpin with us. Kingpin, Colt 1927. I'm about blind, guys, so overlook me if I pronounce it wrong. Andy79Z28. And begin, he says. Good to see you, Andy. Bobby Barlow is with us. Tactical FUD, Colt, MSB 9021's joined us. 351 Cleveland, good to see you, man. Hope everyone's doing well. Dale Poe, good to see you, Dale. Who else is here? That's it right now, guys. Maybe in a minute, a few more will trickle in. I'm going to load actually, I got a few. I got to cut the primer pocket. I'm going to show you how I do it. And I'm going to go over a few things, and I'll set up the die, and I'm going to, actually, I did forget something. Bear with me just one second, guys. There we go. I forgot the competition shell holders. Do you have to use these? Absolutely not. Sometimes I don't, but sometimes I do. And that's what this show is going to be about a little bit. We'll cover a few things. It's not going to be, entirety. I do have the powder. I don't know what it's throwing. I did back off my original charge. I just got this set up maybe an hour ago. And I'll show you a few things I do here that I got somewhere. Who knows, where I got it at. Probably on YouTube somewhere. Little things I do to keep the primer from kicking out of the, sometimes when you prime when you're depriming, or sizing and depriming, your primer will kick out instead of going down the tube on a retting press, whether it be Big Boss, T7. I'll show you something I do to stop that. Good to see you guys. Brutal Bob has joined us. Good to see you, Bob. Let me highlight you guys. Sometimes I think I would remember that much as I did for Echo. Highlighting stuff. I'm at home from my knee replacement today. Could hardly wait to see all you fine people. Good to see you, Bob, man. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're not in much pain. I had a friend a few years ago. He's probably in Daytona Beach now. He's right there on the ocean. Got his own little efficiency. He sent me a picture on the phone, man. They had a cut, like 14 inches long across his knee. And believe it or not, he's functioning fine. And it's amazing what they can do now. So hope you get well, brother. GGW Outdoors joined us. Good to see you, GGW. I'm actually running this thing through, I'm not sure when it's going to pop in. You probably will see, I think, somebody called Nightbot. At least I think, if it's set up correctly, and I think it is. I had a friend of mine on YouTube. He set it up, and I told him to space it out. So I don't know. I don't even see it. So I don't think it could be on the front side. Y'all let me know if you see Nightbot jumping in there. He's having a second one in a few weeks. Wow. Boy. Yeah, surgeries. I don't like surgeries. They're not fun. They have to sit around and don't get no exercise or anything. And, but anyway, great to see you guys and gals. I appreciate you dropping in. What can we do first? Call most of you out. I think G23's joined us. Good to see you, G. We're gonna I'm half blind, and I got to move the mic here. I mean, the camera. And then I'm going to move everything over here to this other monitor here in a minute. But what we're going to do is we're going to set the Redding die full length with no decapper in it. I took it out because I decap all my 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, 6 brass. So got Redding, and I also got a Dillon lock ring because it just works better on my T7. And got that, and we got the Forster micro adjustable die in 223 to go with it. And we have the Lee factory crimp die to crimp the 223556 tonight. It's already set up, actually. That one is. And I'll run these down in a minute, get the camera situated, and we'll go through the shell holders, get everything set up, and thank goodness for the instant indicator because I don't have to use a case gauge. I can just, bam, and know where my headspace is real quick. So, anyway, appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, wow, got 16 on. Appreciate each and every one. Ocean's with us. Good to see you, Ocean. Ron Wayne joined us. Hey, man, thank you for being here. I appreciate anybody, however long you stay, I appreciate your time. Time is valuable, so I thank you for being here. Let me see if I haven't got it set up yet. Let's see. I've got to set up the tripod, which I usually set up in advance, but I've been busy loading primers. So bear with me a few minutes. We'll just talk and chat here with you guys while I get this set up here. Hang on a minute. You're going to get dizzy. I'm also using, I don't know if Nightbot's working because I know it is spaced out because I didn't want it just bam, bam, bam. If it is, let me know. Give me a thumbs up on the Nightbot or whatever. Also, I am going through OBS. OBS tonight. Now, what does OBS do to this camera? It actually takes I can change the contrast, the light, and work with lights a little bit better. That's all. That's all I'm using it for at this moment. HIPAA's joined us. Can't stay, but got to give you a thumbs up. I appreciate it, HIPAA. Good to see you, man. Misty Mrs. Wayne just joined us. Hey, thank you for being here, Mrs. Wayne. I'm just kind of winging it with this. I don't have the good camera that Mac has. Hopefully, in time, when I get my grilling stuff all bought up and get going doing some smoking, I'll get a Sony bought and sent here. I could have ordered it. I just didn't yet. Haven't got around to it. Hang on. Don't get dizzy here. Let me get you on there. You want to see my room a little bit? It's a mess. That's my cabinet on the wall. Above my bench. You see stickers everywhere. I got that at a thrift store, mounted on the wall. I think I gave $20 for it, and it's finished. Got glass in each thing, and actually, it makes the room look better. But it's mostly for stickers, and I got reloading stuff all stuck in it. So, anyway, I'm not going to show you the whole room because it is a mess right now. I need to do some cleaning and get organized. Actually, today I was thinking about. I am going to be closing the garage. There we go. Got it. Sorry about that. I'm going to be closing the garage in. I've been wanting to for years. And I can either turn it into a den or I can make me a workshop like Mac. And really, do I need it? The only thing I need a garage for really is my car. But insurance makes me have a garage, have it garage kept. If not, they won't cover. Supposedly, they won't let me have the coverage. But I'm thinking about getting a 10 building out back if I close that in for I think it's $1,000. But let me get the camera turned around here. I'm surprised it's that light because I don't have all the lights on. But that's what OBS does. It adjusts the light. Let me pardon the highlight here. Let me find Bob here and get it off his knee. There we go. Appreciate you coming here, Ron and the Mrs. We already got this priming. We already got some of this here is sized. Let me pick out some of this brass I've got. I got it from someone. I'll tell you, JH586, give him a shout out. Sent me some brass here a few years ago. I keep it segregated. Seems like some are already sized, but some aren't. So I kind of throw the size ones to the side and, finish it. But I do check the headspace with the reading instant indicator right. Let me see. Right here, if y'all can see it. Let me turn it around. There you go. This here is set up to Sammy Min. I don't even need these ears. Nobody's on the panel. But anyway, I got it set up so I can tell if this has been sized or not. Nope. Right here, you probably can see the needle right there way over. I know it's not a good angle. I don't want to be moving around and make you drunk here or make your head spin. And I was going to show you the little mod I do if you want to deprime or decap. Let me pull this right over here and I'll show you. I do the straw mod right there. I just stick a straw in there because sometimes when you decap it will shoot out. And I also got one in the Big Boss over here too. So I stick a little straw, cut it about 2 inches, and I insert it there. And typically your primers will always go down the chute. But anyway, that's just a little hack I do, or technique. But this here needs to be sized, so we'll do that tonight. We're going to set up the redding and the competition shell holders, and kind of show you how to use it. That right there's been sized, so I don't want that one. That one's Sammy been sized and bumped back. I'll get one here in a minute. Bear with me. I'll move the screen over here. That one's been sized. Bingo. Got one there we need. I'm just picking out a few to size and prime for the show. That one needs to be sized. Yeah, that one's sized. Let's see here. Ain't that where you go for the... All of a sudden, I'm getting everything already sized. There are some in here, though, that's not bumped back, though, or full-length sized. There's one. That's 3 we got. We'll get to it in a minute. That has been sized. Apparently, Jamie sent me some mixture of sized and unsized brass a few years ago. I thank him for that. He's a nice guy. Back in the early days, a long time ago. There you go. That needs to be sized. Anyway, there's a few. We don't need many for the show. Let me get that down there. Okay. First thing we got to do is set the sizing die up. Let me move you all over here to the other screen. Bear with me. Let me check the comments for a second. Good to see you. Good to see you, Hillbilly. Appreciate you being here. Dale Pogue is with us. Ocean joined us. Andy Hunting and Stuff with J&J. Let's see. Misty Mrs. Wayne joined us. Thank you for being here. Who else? I am Betty J. Gathers jumped in here. Hey, Betty, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm going to start trying to get these shows. I'm going to have to do about two hours of prep. Hippa joined us earlier. Can't stay long. I appreciate each and every one of you. She does vlogs. Check her out. Put your time in there, Betty. When your lives typically start, if you want to. Okay, let's do the sizing die. Here's the sizing die. It's a reading. We'll go ahead and throw the ram up. Whichever one knows that reload. The ones that don't know we do that. We're going to turn the die down on the reading. Now, this don't apply to every press. Some presses don't have cam over, some do. And I'm going to have to get my glasses out just to be able to read the shell holders. And my eyes are leaving the glasses late the past year. So I got to get my, into the eye doctor and get my eyes checked. We're going to cam it over slightly. You don't want to do it where, damage your linkage and all that, but we're taking up the slack in the linkage on the T7. I typically do cam over by feel. That's most of us do that reload quite a bit. So I got a good firm cam over. I'm going to leave it up, square the die, and lock the nut. This is the sizing die I'm setting up. All right, that's done. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and set this up. I'm going to have my glasses for this because it does have a scale here. And I'll kind of explain it as I go and try to get the mic over close enough to me. We're going to put this in. This, I got to have my glasses. I got to see the writing on one of these Forester I got is really white. You can really see it. It's like they put the enamel in it. And then one of them I got here, the 223 micro cedar, it's like they just lightly put the white in it, and it looks actually almost like a faint yellow. So it's not that, you can't hardly see it. I could probably get some model car paint and correct it, but I don't do it. I may try that in time. So I'm gonna take it down. I don't take it, I don't take it to cam over not on a seeding die. I take it on the redding till it takes it has the Forester, the Forester has a floating like bushing shaft in it, a little collet like in it, and it holds your shell almost like a chamber. And I get it about halfway. Let's see, right there. Let's see. Let me take it up a little bit. It don't need to be, maybe about a quarter of the way. I'm going to turn that, and I turn the thing around where I can actually see the numbers on the dial, and I'm going to tighten it up. There we go. It comes out the little screwdriver Matt gave me. Sent it to me before we went on vacation. We'll get to that at that point. Let's just put it over here on my magnets. Magnet idea was Walter Viejo. He come up with that. Okay. We got the number 10 rating standard show holder. Okay, yeah, she's got her thing right here, guys, what her shows are. She does vlogs. If your wife's interested or if you're interested, I watch her show and drink coffee. And I sit and listen to her, her content. I enjoy it. She says, "Channel and Betty together my lives Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The only time zone that matters is Rick's Life as I See It says." Appreciate you being here, Betty. Me unhighlight you. Yeah, check these people out. You'll see these people drift in and out. They're friends of mine, people I've met on the journey, and some really good people out there. And we have a lot in common with them. Like I said, I say occasionally lately, reloaders are kind of like preppers. We do things in bulk. All right, we got the die. We got the regular shell holder. Now we're going to set this up. Now, if I sit here and I put this brass with a standard shell holder with cam over, like right now that you see in this Redding standard sizing die, full length die, and I'm going to show you what it'll do. What'll happen, if you can see it. All right, I'm going to size it. Okay, there it's sized. I'm going to wipe the lube off. And we're going to look and see what headspace we got. Headspace is something, as a reloader, you need to learn, and you need to understand it. It'll help you. All right, now I'm going to check it on the Redding Instant Indicator, which I've got it zeroed out to Sammy Min, just like you would a shoulder of a real cartridge, say, loaded. And I don't know if you can see it. Hang on. I'm going to stand up and move for you. That way you can actually see it. I don't have the fancy, all I got is a Logitech, so bear with me. There's the gauge. I'm sorry, apologize about the blur, but you can see it there. Watch it. All right, I just bumped the brass back, and actually probably 4 thousandths below Sammy Min just then. In other words, I oversized this brass. I bumped it way back below Sammy Min, which is 0. Well, what's that going to do? It's going to wear my brass out, oversize my brass. It's going to be more loose in the chamber, and you're not going to get as much life out of it. Most of us reloaders know that. So I'm just kind of explaining this, especially for the people listening that don't know. Okay, now we're going to take the same brass. Okay, we're going to use it. It's still good. Right, now we're going to go to the, boy, that is blurry. I apologize for the, It's a Logitech. What can you expect? Let's see if I can get it to focus. There we go. I'm going to take the shell holder out. I know this is zeroed in. I won't go through the zeroing in of it because it's kind of a waste. We'll start out with a +10, which is a Reading competition shell holder set 10 for 223556. I'm going to put it in there. Okay, we're gonna size this again, another piece of brass. Hope you guys can hear me. Okay, full length size this. Wipe this off, get the grease off of it. You don't want to corrode your gauge here. We're going to take this out because we can't get a reading because it's zeroed in. The competition reading instant indicator is zeroed in to 0 with what? A standard shell holder. This shell holder is a different thickness, the deck is. So we're going to put the regular shell holder into the press again right here. And we're going to see what we sized it to with the +10. We sized it, it's reading about 5 thousandths over semi-min, or 6 thousandths over semi-min. So it didn't size. So I'm going to take the standard shell holder out. I'm going to put the +10 back in. I already know what's going to happen because I know the system. I am putting a plus, is that +8 or +6? Hang on, bear with me a minute. 6. I can't even see them. Okay, +8. Okay. I'm just trying to get them in order here. All right. We're going to do the plus. Bear with me, guys. Hang on. I want to make sure I can see this. Now I can see. Okay. We'll do the +8 next. Okay. Now we're going to put it in. Let me get you back over here. Here we go. All right. We're working with it's not the +10 now. We're working with the +8 at this point. Let's go and resize this now. Wipe the lube off. Take out the +8. Put back in the standard. Now, when you do the competition shell holders, you don't have to continuously swap, but you do in the beginning to get your readings. So I'll show you a shortcut to that. All right, let's see what we bump back with the +8 competition shell holder. We bump back probably about 2 thousandths of an inch. We're still at 1, 2, 3. We're at 3,000 over semi-min. We're actually okay. We could run this probably in an AR-15. If you had a tight match grade chamber, you probably would have an issue at that point. So if you got a standard AR, let's say a 6-7 thousandth chamber, after you shoot the round, and keep your range brass, you probably would be okay. But I'm gonna size it down a little more, so bear with me. Let's get it down to. We'll put that up. We'll go with a +6. We'll put that in there. So we're going in steps. We start out with a +10, +8. Now we're on the +6. We're going to size that same piece of brass one more time. Might not get a great reading on that one, but we'll see. We'll wipe this off. We'll put the standard shell holder in. Bingo. 1.5 thou over semi-min. Perfect for your AR. I could go more. I could take another shell holder and actually bump the shoulder back more, but we're okay there. So right there's a complete size round. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take that, so we don't have to just keep swapping. We're going to put that back. We're going to put that piece of, what did we say this was? Hang on. Now here's how I do it to do it fast. There's different ways you can do this, but this is just one way. I said that was reading actually 1 thou over semi-min. Okay. Remember that 1 thou over Sammy Min. Right, I'm taking the standard shell holder here out. I'm putting the +6 back in. Right, I don't want to keep swapping this crap and going back and forth because that would just drive you batty if you were reloading, right? Okay. Let's put this back in. We already know it's +1, so we don't have to get the gauge out. There's two different ways you can do this. I'm just kind of showing you a faster way. Okay. As you can see, right there, we know it was a +1 with a standard shell holder. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this gauge, reset it to make +1, where we'll know as we're sizing exactly where our shoulder bump is, which is where our Sammy Min will be at 1,000 over Sammy Min. All right. So now I'm going to take this. Let me get you right here. I'm going to leave this right here. I'm going to sit right here. And we're going to reset this gauge. I am. Set it near 0. You could actually, do this with the little thing they got with it, but really you already know what you sized it to. I'm going to set this at 1 thou over. There we are. Now, it has a setup little thing with it. Here, I'll show you. Let me get it out. Bear with me. Let's see. I still got it here. Yeah, here it is. The reading instant indicator comes with this. This is basically for your headspace. It sets up the instant indicator. That's the shoulder. That's what you set the gauge up with. And believe it or not, it says 223 Remington on it. These kits used to be, I think, $159. It may be $180 or $90 now. But I already know what this, I can zero it out to this, or I can go ahead and zero it out to that piece of brass, which is faster, the brass is, so I do it that way. So there we are. Right, now, that brass is done. That's good brass. Here we go. Everything's done. No more shell holders. Swapping. Hold on. Drop the brass. I'm going to size that piece of brass. And we're just going to use the instant indicator just to kind of see where we're still at, just to verify. 1 thou over. Just like the other piece of brass. Okay, so we're set to go. What we've accomplished here, we've sat here and set the reading instant indicator up to where we picked a proper competition shell holder where we can actually just literally, now we can just sit here and go bang, 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 and size, and occasionally verify the headspace, which is this gauge right here. Do I recommend these? Yeah. Do they cost a lot of money? Yes. Would I buy one now? I tell you what this does do, and I've said it before in these streams, this does help you understand what you're doing on your press. If you're a beginning reloader and you don't buy this and you say, you got a case gauge, like I showed you the other day, you kind of go by it. You don't know exactly where you're at. You're at the top hump, you're somewhere in the middle. At the bottom, you're at Sammy 0 Min, like on a L.E. Wilson. If you're halfway, you might be 2 or 3 thou. You kind of don't know, but you're okay. You can use a case gauge. There's nothing wrong with it. But this thing will show you all the time where exactly your shoulder bump is. So you can use it for precision loading, or you can use it for 223, range brass. It doesn't matter. You can use it for either one. Do I load without it 223? Of course. I just basically use a regular holder. I lightly tilt, the head tilts a little bit on a rating T7. So I just set it up, let it tilt a little bit. But this here squares the die good. It takes up the play and the linkage, and you get more consistent results with the competition shell holders. If you look online, there's a few channels that's pretty good size. They use these to set up their long range ammo with the rating system, and it works. Years ago, I seen a guy. He did probably still out there, a video of these right here, and he basically called them crap. gauges. And what did, he started measuring them with calipers. I couldn't figure out why, because and I think he was trying to understand how they were manufactured. And really don't get yourself in the weeds on that. Just read their ratings instructions and do exactly what they say. And these gauges, these competition shell holders, will do exactly what they say they will do. They'll vary a little bit. Everything has a tolerance, when it's manufactured, but they're good and they work. So I don't know why years ago this person called them crap. And one other person here a long time ago, and I won't say where, got into it about this and wanting several of us to measure our shell holders. I said, well, we can, but what will it accomplish, for you? I said, just basically use your competition shell holders the way rating says, and you will be okay. Don't sit here and, I'm a nerd. I can be OCD, but I'm not going to sit here and take these out and start measuring them and go, oh, rating got this shell holder off. Because, what are you doing? You're not accomplishing anything. You're trying to create confusion. And these work. If they don't function, then send them back to rating. Give rating a call and tell them that they're not they're not taking the brass down exactly. They don't take the brass down like I'm on, what is it, plus 6,000 competition shell holder. I'm on it. It bumps back. Almost every time I use these, I wind up on the plus 6, every time. Most of the time. I have did plus 8, and I have did the 4, but it kind of depends on how much cam over you give it. So there we are. We're just sitting here taking our time now. We can sit here and lube our brass. I don't know if you noticed it, I never lube that. I start here in the middle, and I go down on my lube. Now, some people do it there. You'll get hydraulic dents if you start doing it there. I don't mess with the neck. You don't need to mess with the neck. You just lube the case about halfway and then all the way down to the end of it, and there you are. And I'm going to take it over there, size it, and let's see where this come out. Your range brass is going to vary because you're basically using different head stamps. You picked it up at the range. That's why it's called range brass. It's a mixture, so you're going to have some that's thicker than others, so you're going to get a lot of variance. But you're still going to be able to get it in the ballpark. Now, sometimes you'll get some brass that's shot out of a big chamber, and it'll have spring back, which you all have heard of in these live streams. Let's see what we got here. Oh, another piece of brass. We got almost 2 thousandths over Sammy Min. Perfect for an AR-15. No problem. Like I say, I could go with another shell holder, and I'd push this probably 1,000 below Sammy Min or 0. Now, that's okay. If it was a tight chamber, I would go to another. I'd probably go with a plus 4 instead of the 6. But there we are. Let's lube another case. Size it. See, we're not setting up. We're not switching back shell holders anymore. That's done. That's just kind of a part of the setup of these, way it works. And which you all see Highboy do this a lot over the years. I'm going to check and see what I did again on this piece of brass. Whoa. See, I got a piece of brass here that did not size. Okay. Now, what am I going to do about that? I can use this here plus, what did I say it was, plus 6. Or I can go to the plus 4 if occasionally I'm getting brass that's not bumped back because it's got spring back. This brass is 3 thousandths over Sammy Min. Is it still going to work in my AR? Yeah. Okay, let's just do this for an experiment. Let's take this out so you all can see. This is the plus 6 right here. Let's go ahead and put the plus 4 in there and see what we got, just to see where it bumps it to. So you kind of get a feeling here. If your brass is a mixture and all of a sudden you're getting, you check it occasionally and all of a sudden you realize you're getting 3-4 thousandths above Sammy Min in your range brass and you don't want that, go to the next competition shell holder and try that and see where you're at. So let's size it with that one and see. We may be about the same because some of this stuff is shot out of different guns, different rifles. Let's see what we got it at now. Bingo! I went with a plus 4, and we're at right at a hair under 1 thousandths over Sammy Min, which would work probably on every time. Now, this was stubborn brass. Remember, it had 3 thousandths over. So there we are. So we went from that shell holder, we decided to go with a +4. Let me see. Yeah, +4. So that's the one I will choose. Now, are you working your brass a little more? Yeah, anytime you bump, the more you bump to Sammy Min, or especially way beyond Sammy Min as a reloader, say you don't have this here and you do the case gauge and you sit there and you do what the directions say, screw the die down till it touches. Depending on the die, like Redding, they can bump your brass back like 7 thousandths below Sammy Min. And what is that doing? That is working the crap out of your brass. You're sizing it so down so much that you're not going to get a bunch of reloads out of it. You're wearing it out premature. So that's why I like the competition shell, the Redding instant indicator, because you can kind of monitor that and not oversize your brass. You know exactly. It's basically like a no-go gauge is what Redding gives you. Matter of fact, I actually checked the gauge in the Redding instant indicator on 308 here a few years ago, and I checked it on Redding's 308 instant indicator, the little thing, the setup gauge. Guess what? Almost dead nuts on. Redding sized that little setup thing to basically 0 Sammy Min, which was a go gauge for the chamber of 308. So that's how accurate Redding does their tolerances. They do good tolerances. They hold them. So there we are. We got that sized. And we know we'll size another one just to kind of see where we're at. And I'll talk with you all here in a minute. Bear with me. I didn't even move you over. I'm still looking over here at the other screen a long way off. How you doing, Critter? Good to see you. Curtis Long is with us. Good to see you. Hope I didn't miss anybody. Let me scroll up here. Appreciate you dropping by, Curtis. Been a while, man. Viejo is with us. Good to see you, Viejo. James Pollard joined us. Good to see you, James. Matter of fact, I was trying to get to your site this evening. I wanted to look at some videos. Andy 79Z28's with us. Curtis Long is with us. GGW Hobbies Hobo. Ocean's with us. Info Bros joined us. Gizzard Gary joined us. Tactical FUD. Who else? Make sure I didn't miss any of you guys. I've been talking mostly. Hillbilly Up is with us. Good to see you, Hillbilly. How you doing, man? Andre D'Angelo joined us earlier. Dale Pogue. Hunting and Stuff with J&J joined us earlier. If you're still here, I appreciate it, man. Ron Wayne joined us earlier. Thank you, Ron, for being in here, man. I thank you a lot. He comes in MacMan's streams. And Misty Mrs. Wayne joined us earlier. Appreciate you coming. Missouri Outlaw Randy joined us. He does some videos he's on the road trucking. Check his channel out, guys. Apparently, I don't think my Nightbot's working. I don't see it. Do you guys? I don't see it at all. And I had a friend set it up, so I got to get with him and see what's going on with it, because I don't see Nightbot jumping in there. But it could be, but I sure don't see it on this side. Do you see it, Brutal Bob? Have you seen Nightbot at all tonight? Has he been popping in and out? He should have popped in at least 1 or 2 times. But he may have got some of the code off or something if it didn't jump in there. So we'll correct that. I'll get with him. He's a good guy. Helps me out with he knows coding. You can put the codes and stuff in. Let's size this piece. See where we're at. Let's check it on here. Let's see, we got some stubborn brass right here. It's a spring back. Maybe shot out of another gun. It's not sizing back quite as much. Now, we went with a +4, right? Well, we needed to. We're still at 3 thousandths above Sammy Min. So we're perfect in an AR anyway, but it's a good thing we went with this, because we may end up having one maybe at 5, 6 thousandths over Sammy Min. I may be confusing people talking about Sammy Min, but go research. Go to Sammy, and it's a specification that manufacturers cut their chambers with, and check them out and you'll kind of figure it out. Anyway, that's it on that. Now, I'm not going to powder one of these. I'm just going to do a dummy round. It's just faster. Let me hang on just 1 minute. I gotta turn on it's not plugged up actually. I had a tree fell here and tore up a bunch of my surge protectors. I got one free by Bilkin, actually mailed me one free the other day. Let me chamfer and hang on 1 minute. All right. I'm going to take this piece of brass. This is a pocket uniformer gauge. It actually cuts the pocket to the proper depth to make your primer. This is a, let's see, in this, it's a Lyman brand. There's other brands. I think RCBS makes them. I know Redding makes them. They make carbide. This is just a steel Lyman. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to stick. You only do this once. It's called primer pocket uniformer. Actually, I didn't even swage that, but I don't need to because it says on it 223 Remington. So it's not a NATO brass. So I don't have to swage the crimp out of it. So we put that over there. Let's see what this one is. Yep, this is crimped. I know you can't see it because this camera stinks. It just don't work. I can't get it to focus. Take my word, it's got a crimp in it. So how do I do that for mine? I use, it's all, because it's all I got. I use a little knurl from Lyman. It's got little knurled spirals on it. All I do is stick it in there, and it cuts a 45-degree angle. And hang on a minute. Let's see. Case prep. I use a swage gauge, which I think is worth its weight in gold, right here. This is the go, no-go gauge. I think it's made by Ballistic Tools. I bought it years ago. I got 223 and I got a 308. I stick it in the primer pocket and it's a go. On the other side, if you can stick it in, your primer pocket's worn out or too large. So this is perfect. This is a great gauge to get. I haven't thought of it in a long time, but this little gauge is nice. They also have a gauge that tells you how wide, how much tension you have on your neck tension. It has numbers on it. I've never used that one. I'm going to order it in time, but the swage gauge you can't beat. I mean, to me, it's a must-have for reloading. NATO, that is. You know, 308? I bought it for 308 anyway. I think I got one in 308. Yeah, I have the 308. Unless it's NATO brass, you don't need it. But if it's NATO, you do need the swage gauge. You don't need it, but you can kind of check it occasionally as a quality control tool. So there's that. Right, here we go. Let me get over here and talk to you all a minute. Make sure. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. VO, what's going on, VO? I like the primer pocket uniformers. I used RCBS, but they all work. Yep. Seems like the drill. I put it on the RCBS, unit over here I have, which is the prep case outfit that RCBS makes. It's got it cuts the 45 little degree and trims the edge of the brass off. Anyway, I got a VLD on it. I use a Lyman. I don't keep the original on the RCBS case prep kit. I take the original RCBS off and I put the Lyman on it, which has more of a VLD, a long tip on it. But so that's done. We know this round here is done. It's been we've got the outside inner, got that done. And we got to set up a bullet. Bear with me here. I need to move this thing over to the hang. Bear with me, people. Let me move you over here to this other monitor where I can just look straight ahead there. There we go. Now I can see you guys without having to turn my head constantly. Appreciate you being here. Ocean says for 308, only check the neck tension. Yeah. Yeah, they got a gauge for that. That's what I was going to say. And I've never bought it yet, but I thought about it. I think it'd probably be a pretty good tool. Let's, hang on. Bob was talking about this the other week. Here is my dummy round I made up here several years ago. It's set almost dead nuts on 2.200, which I do load deeper because I want to load it, put the bullet in at least 90%. Only 10% of the cantilever showing, or just barely showing. But anyway, we'll set this up. I'll loosen the nut on here. Back this die out, this micro gauge. It's been a while since I set this thing up. I'll back it out to, if I can see, to 0. We're going to take the center shaft with this little screwdriver out that Mac sent me. We're going to turn it till it touches the bullet, my dummy round. There we go. We're going to tighten a little nut. That's the dummy round. It's just going to speed things up. We'll take, let me see, hang on a minute. We got a chamfer and deburr the brass, chamfer in the center, in the inside, and deburr the exterior. We'll set it in there, take the bullet, run it up in the Forster micro seating die. And where are we at? Wow, we're almost there that quick. Well, I can see probably 80%. I can see about 80% of the cantilever. Let's measure it and see where we're at. So that's how fast I got the die dialed in. Now I only got to tweak the die. Now we're talking about this one right here. These are good for the money. You cannot beat a Forster micro cedar die. They're fantastic. They got a sleeve in them, and they just work. Let's see what length we got here. We're looking for 2.200 at least, but we're really looking to get the 80 or 90% of the cantilever where only maybe 10% of it shows. Oh, wow, we're almost there. We're at 2.208. We're only 8.5 thou on our deadline, according to the reloading manual for this round. Now, let's go ahead and turn this down. I said 8, right? We're at 0. We're going to turn down 3, 4, 5, 6 thousandths. Let's turn it down 6 thou and just see. Let's see what we got here. 2.204. We're almost there. So 4. Let's turn this down 4 thousandths of an inch in increments. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that. See what this reads. Wow, 2.200. Dead on what the Reading, the Hornady 10th edition I have says for the load. Now, I'm going to seat this deeper because I don't like the cantilever. Well, let me see. Actually, it's not too bad. I'm not going to do a hot load with this, so I want to go down a few thou, which is not, a few thou is not going to really make a big deal. You're not going to have a maxed out load. So I'm going to take it down another 2 thou. Let's see what it looks like. I'm just getting it to look the way I want the cantilever to show. Actually, it's good. I mean, this commercial brass shows a little less, yes. But it's up to you. You could say, yes, this would work. I know you can't see it, but it's covering most of the cantilever right there. And that's basically it. Say if that's the length you want, which now it's, what did we got here? 2.2 199, which is 1 thou under what the book says. So we say, okay, that's a go. Now what are we going to do? We're going to go over here already. I'm not going to really show you setting up the crimp die. It's already set up and for speed and time tonight constraints. And here we have this set up. This is a Lee factory crimp in 223. We're going to go up. I'm doing a light crimp. And there's the round completed. I mean, it's a dummy round. It has no primer. And I put this here because I am going to load probably tomorrow some or between now and the weekend, maybe on the weekend. I may even jump in for a coffee and reload a little of this and talk with you guys. So check out a morning coffee, or it's morning coffee somewhere. I haven't did one of those streams in a little while. So anyway, we completed the round. We set up the gauge was already set up. We set up the competition shell holders right here. We set up the dies, and the factory crimp was the only thing I didn't show you. I'll show you that in another live. And we set up the Forester micro die. It's got a center, which you all can see right here. It has a center shaft you turn with a little screwdriver. I've actually got one of these little screwdrivers, but Mac sent me this one. I appreciate that. It's got his name on it and his phone number. And you basically, when you do it, get it right, you take this nut. I usually take a vice grips or a little pair of pliers, and I lightly turn this nut on this Forester. Anyway, that's it. That's using the competition shell holders, setting the gauge up. Let's go over here and we'll check. We can still, even with the bullet in it, we can still check the shoulder bump and see where we're at. We're at, surprise, surprise, Gomer Powell said, we're at 1 thou over, Sammy Min, on that round I loaded. So there we go. I didn't want to get in deep. I hope you all understood some of that and watched me kind of set it up. And I started out, remember, with a standard shell holder. And I eventually zeroed this instant indicator in again, and I'm off and running. So I don't even have to touch this. I'm ready to go this weekend. So this show helped me get me going. I'm ready to load some 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, 6 for Saturday and Sunday. And I may do a live while I'm doing a few, talking to you all. But I appreciate each and every one of you coming by here. Let me get this camera remounted here. Bear with me, people, folks. Oh, I do need that camera. Mac he's the man. He's got the good cam. The lights straightened out here. There we go. Actually, looks kind of dark in here. Let me switch this over to this screen. Also got the OBS running. There you go. Thank you all for coming in here. I hope you've got something out of that. You can see how easy the instant indicator is to use. You can see that I know exactly. So that's a good thing. If you're a new reloader, you know exactly, you're learning about shoulder bump, exactly where your bump is at. I'll just call it bump, like that. And the problem is most reloaders start out, and we all do, because we can't afford all this equipment. It hurt me originally. That's why I don't buy a Redding now. I typically try to buy a Lee or something and dies. It's just got very expensive, especially the past few years. And so that's it. I do like the Redding. It teaches you to kind of know where you're at. Occasionally, you'll use this gauge for you. This is basically quality control, in my humble opinion on it. So there's Nightbot. That Joker finally showed up. Look at there. Okay, Andy must have put there. Yeah. Type in 1776. I was going to put AR guns, but hey, 1776. Good to see you, new Texarkana. Thank you for coming in, man. Later, Andy. Andy's going to bed. It's 9:01. Chad Kelly joined us. Hey, we got a good crowd in here, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming in here. I hope you got something out of that. I know you see High Boy do this a lot over the years, and he does it too. And it just shows how easy it is. It's nothing to it, Oh, thank you, GGW. It's simple. It's, you seen how, I took my time. I could have went faster. And you seen me, zero it without pulling out the gauge again. I just zeroed it basically to what my brass was reading, 1 thou over, and I'm off running. Like I said, it's ready now. I'll just go ahead and load, and I'll do a live stream morning coffee or something around probably by 2:30. Let's see, Sunday I can't do it at 2 because the Georgia Trapping, he does a show. I try to not stream over him. maybe if I do one Sunday, it'll be around noon, maybe. It'll be called It's Morning Coffee somewhere. Check it out. Come drop by. Good to see you, Critter, Hobo. Let me scroll up. Apparently, boy, we really slowed Nightbot down. I told him to space it out. I didn't want it popping up constantly. Now, I can go in there and change it, but I don't know. I'll have to go back on the stream and look and see how much it did pop up. It may not have popped up at all. Well, it had to, because he wouldn't have known to put his 1776 in there. But you guys want to drop your link? All you do, if you see Nightbot, jump in there, type in 1776. Everyone listening, and it'll drop your link. And the mods don't even have to worry about it. Now, I still need your help if you want to do it. I appreciate it. Got some good mods in here. Vanessa, got a whole bunch of people. Michael Hurtnick, he's a mod. G's a mod. Bunch of them. Chris 740, Mac, I think he's a mod. Let me see. Gizzard Gary's dropping his link. So yeah, we did space out that Nightbot, definitely. Bubba, good to see you, Bubba. I like the way he says that. Fellers and Felliettes. That's a trip. Good to see you, James Pollard. I bet I could adopt an indicator to a spare lead die. Adapt it. I don't know. I hadn't thought of that. Got Way No House 74 here. You're looking well again, thank goodness. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I had COVID first of the year, got over it. And a few other issues, had a few injections, this, that, and the other. Got a lot of arthritis out of my T9 area, my back, T9 and 10. Not to talk about health stuff, but yeah. And a lot of it, I just took a pause there for a while. Sometimes you kind of get burned out on doing it. Thing is, I miss you, all you guys. It's good seeing you. And good to get on here. It gives me, something to do. When you're retired, you don't do much. And then your hobbies are expensive if you're not careful. My hobby is my sports car, which most of you all are aware of. It's in the shop. I'll get that going. I'll be cruising around, maybe meeting some people that own this channel, in time. And I'll do some coffees and then sit here and reload and just talk. I won't really go. When you do the tutorials, it's time consuming, and I can't look at the chat all the time. Now, I can pull it over there and kind of keep my eye on it, but then you get distracted from this. So you have to kind of, how is it when you do a pellet grill? Low and slow. But just show 70, but no link. Okay, so we got some coding problems. Hobo, we'll have to fix that. Let's see. Well, GGW, let's see. GGW, did you type 1776 and it worked? Yeah, it worked. Type it in, Hobo, 1776. Just 1776 only. Try it again, see if it works. I don't see where you typed it. Let me see. Gizzard Gary, it worked. Yeah. GGW, it worked. Okay, Nutex I Can, it just worked. Just check him out, guys. He's a good guy. He's part of our community. We got some good people in here. Really do. Now, Nutex I Can, he's been around, God, a year or two? 2 years? He used to come in, me and Echo used to stream together. I was Echo's basically co-host. Echo's blind, so I had to basically call out the side chat so he would know who was in it, and he would talk to him. But appreciate each and every one of you dropping in. We've been going on about an hour right now. Let me scroll up here and call you guys out, give you a shout out here. Now, the chat's been pretty busy. Okay, earlier we had Tactical Fud with us, Red Dirt with us, Kingpin with us, Coat 1927. Andy 79Z28 was with us earlier. Good to see you guys. Tactical Bobby Barlow was with us. Coat 1920, MSB 9021. Good to see you, brother. 351 Cleveland was with us tonight. Dale Pogue was with us. 351. Andy Brutal Bob was with us. AR says, yeah, home with his knee replacement. Here, I'll kind of highlight you the way Hillbilly does. I always try to highlight you eventually. It's hard to do when you're doing a tutorial, though. But appreciate you being in here, guys. Who else here? GGW Outdoors. G23 joined us. Milsurp Duo. Good to see you, Milsurp. Check him out, guys. He's got a good channel. He does surplus firearms. Ocean 374. Good to see you, Ocean, if you're still listening. Andre D'Angelo. Good to see you, Andre. GGW, I called. Good to see you, GGW. Ron Wayne joined us. Good to see you, Ron. I appreciate you coming here, man, taking the time. Time is the most valuable thing I've learned in my older years. Time. I told my daughter recently, I said, if you could give me $1 million and say, make me 30 years old again, I would do the 30 years old. Forget the $1 million. I would not take it. Time is more valuable than money, in my opinion. Ron Wayne, Brutal Bob, G23, MCK. Good to see you, MCK. Hippo was with us. Misty Mrs. Wayne joined us earlier. Ocean, GW, who else here? Missouri Outlaw, Randy. He's a truck driver. Check him out, guys. I think, well, we took Nightbot and we timed him out where he hardly jumps in there. I told him to stretch him out when he did the code. I am Betty J. Gathers was with us earlier. Thank you for dropping in, Betty, if you're still listening. If not, I thank her for coming in here tonight. We got a pretty good little crowd. Hunting Stuff with J&J. Hillbilly Up. Good to see you, Hillbilly. Thank you for coming in, brother. Who else here? Make sure I don't overlook somebody. Especially me sitting there, doing the tutorial. I am Betty J. Gathers. She's a nice lady. Check her coffees. Well, hers is not coffees. It's morning vlogs, live streams. I drink my coffee, though, and let's watch her show. Brutal Bob, James Pollard joined us. Good to see you, James. Gizzard Gary, good to see you, Gizzard Gary. Thank you for coming in here, man. Info Bros was with us earlier. Hobbies Hobo, Curtis Long, good to see you, Curtis. Curtis, me and Echo, he did a interview with him a few years ago, I think it was. Well, we also did a concentricity show on some concentricity on some rounds that Curtis loaded. I think he loaded on RCBS, if I remember. It's been a long time, so if I didn't explain that right, seems like we did that show that night. Critter 9A, check him out. He's over to forum. Check out High Boys Forum, 76highboy.com. He's got a good forum over, a bunch of good guys. Critter's a mod over. I'm a mod over there. Vallejo's a mod. It's a good place. You can go over and sign up to there and get you an account opened up, and you can ask questions. Anything you want to ask the guys, they'll help you out. CW's in there. Andy, I think he's got a channel. A whole bunch of us do. We have our individual, what they call a sub-forum. So check his channel out, 76highboy.com. And a lot of guys are over at Rumble. CW, Viejo, he's in Rumble. I'm over at Rumble. Actually, these streams run over there. I just don't go over there and hardly mess with it, and I need to actually develop it and take the time. DJ Play Nice joined us. Dale Pogue. Who else here? I am still scrolling. Let's see. Speed it up a little bit. Chad Kelly joined us. Good to see you, Chad. He's making a rifle, a precision rifle. That's a cool. I'm looking forward to that show. Those videos, if you're listening, Chad. I want a precision rifle, and I've had a rifle, Savage, before. I can't remember the model now, but it was a fluted bull barrel on an MDT aluminum frame. I've had one of those rifles. I didn't have that real skeleton stock you have, but I had kind of a version similar to it. And I sold it. I bought it from Savage, already ready to go, precision. I sold it several years back. Also owned a Tikka TAC A3 or something. I forget now. It's been so many years. It was a 24-inch 308. It was a heck of a rifle. That's the one I regret, the one that I sold. Let's see. Sitting here still scrolling. Peterson Farms of Nashville joined us. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. There's Nightbot. Type 1776 to drop your channel link. Boy, we did slow him down because I've been scrolling all this time, and that's the first time I ran into him. So I can kind of speed him up where he'll jump in there more. Let's see who else. New Techs I Can, Hobbies Hobo, Critter, Drew Bradley. I haven't seen Drew in a while. Good to see you, Drew. Thank you for being here. Bubba Triclops Ballistics. Good to see you, Bubba. He's part of check out Hillbilly Stream Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He has a panel, a good show. Way No House 74 joined us. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in here. Not bot. There's not bot again. Drew Bradley, Dale Pogue, Hillbilly Up. Who else here? I think I about got you all. I hate missing, when you run a show, you hate missing anybody. I have missed a few, especially right there in the end when I'm about to end the show. You go back and go, doggone it, I missed that person. We don't mean to miss you. Sometimes it happens, but we try to get each and every one of you to give you a shout out. But thanks, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Thank you a lot. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off and say God bless. Check out, I'll do some It's Morning Coffee somewhere, typically between noon and 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't do the AM 10 or 11. I might one day, one morning. I kind of just do those at random. You never know. I'll try to post it at least an hour or two before I do the show. But anyway, you all have a good day. I won't say about the creek and all that rising, but just have a good evening. God bless, and thank each and every one of you for being here. We'll catch you on the next one.